She picked up a tub of water and poured it into the pot of egusi soup Enitan had cooked that morning before going to work. Now, this soup will last for a long time. Wait. Please like this video. I promise you're going to enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, watch it again. There was a mistake somewhere. Back to the story. Ah! Why is this soup so thick? Chioma yelled. This foolish woman wants to waste my brother's money, eh? How many pieces of meat are in this pot? 1, 2, 20. And she'll be giving me only 2 pieces. She picked out 5 pieces of meat onto a plate and dropped it on the counter. Then, she picked up a tub of water and poured it into the pot of egusi soup Enitan had cooked that morning before going to work. Now, this soup will last for a long time, Chioma said with a satisfied smile, walking out of the kitchen, chewing a piece of meat furiously. That evening, as Enitan drove into the compound, she saw her sister-in-law Chioma sitting on the veranda, drinking from the bottle of wine she had gotten for her mother and eating chin-chin. Good evening, sister, Enitan greeted her husband with her sister. Chioma grunted back. This wine, it looks similar to the one I got for my mother's birthday, Enitan said with a smile, pointing at the half-empty bottle. And so? Chioma shot back, standing up. Oh yeah, take it, she said, pushing the bottle into Enitan's arms. I'm not asking for it back, Sister Chioma. All I'm saying is I kept this wine in my room and before she could finish. And so what? Chioma shouted. The room in the house of my brother, you mean? Anything gotten with my brother's money in my brother's house is for my brother. Enitan, realizing the argument wasn't leading anywhere, walked into the house. To prepare dinner for the family, she changed into a casual outfit and stepped into the kitchen. After turning the swallow, she took the pot of soup to warm it. But as she opened it, a delicious soup, which she had woken up early to cook, now looked like a puddle of mud. What is this? She screamed, immediately knowing it was Chioma's doing. Chioma, who seemed to have been waiting for Enitan's reaction, walked into the kitchen. Why are you creating a scene? She said. Enitan just walked out from the kitchen and went back into her room. Her soup was ruined. That night, as Caleb came back home, he met his older sister, seated outside crying. Sister, what happened? He asked. Is it not that your wife? She refused to let me eat anything in this house. Caleb immediately knew his sister had done something to his wife and was pretending. He hurried inside to check on his wife. Chioma, who assumed a fight was about to happen, increased her fake crying, listening and waiting for her brother to show his wife who is the man. Are you alright? He asked with a low voice, checking her temperature. What did my sister do? As Enitan recounted everything from the wine to the soup, Caleb became enraged. What sort of rubbish is that? He barked. In your house? He added. No, our house, Enitan corrected. No, your house, Caleb repeated. I have told you so many times to let my family know that you are the one who is hiding my shame, but you have refused. You know what? Get dressed. Let's go out to eat, he said, holding her hands. I'm not hungry, Enitan said weakly. How can my baby not be hungry? It is. Come, my beautiful queen. I don't want you to lose weight, though. Soon, the couple came out dressed to go out, surprising Chioma, who had been sitting in the living room waiting for drama to unfold. She couldn't believe her eyes. Her brother, Caleb, who she had changed his diaper when he was little, was here frolicking with the enemy whom we call the wife. Days later, Mama came from the village. Chioma had called her and she was here for reinforcement. As Mama dragged that huge luggage into the compound, she shouted, Where is the woman who has made herself lord over my son? She has gone to the chariot she calls work, Chioma said. Her arms on her waist. Mama, if you see the wig she uses, it will buy a full plot of land, Chioma dramatized. You don't say, Mama said with her eyes wide with shock. The mother and daughter had gone through all Enitan's clothes and wigs, taking notes of how she was wasting their Caleb's money, huffing and puffing curses. That evening, Enitan returned with her husband, as her car had broken down at the office. As Caleb came out and opened the door for his wife, his mother screamed from the veranda, Abomination, Caleb! What do you think you are doing? My only son? opening the door for a woman. As Caleb and Enitan walked towards the house, Enitan knelt to greet her mother-in-law. Welcome, Mama. Mama, who had her gaze on Enitan's head, grunted a response and faced her son. Mama, you didn't call to say you'd be visiting, Caleb asked with a smile. So, I need to call and collect permission before visiting you. Caleb? Mama said. No, Mama, it's just we would have prepared properly for you and maybe came back early from work. I will be going inside, Mama, Enitan said with a smile as she left. Yes, go inside, Chioma, who had been standing beside Mama, said. As Caleb turned to join his wife, his mother dragged him back. Come here! Where do you think you are going? I have heard so much my ears are full. Is this the rubbish you married? She hissed. I told you to marry a calm Igbo girl from the village. You said it's this Yoruba witch that's enchanted you, eh? My wife is not a witch, Caleb retorted. This is love. Something Sister Chioma, who has been feeding you tales, clearly has never felt. And with that, Caleb walked into the house. Mama, you see what I have been saying? Chioma said while clapping her hands. It is worse than you said, Mama replied. We will remove her from this house. A week went by and it seemed everything Enitan did was a means for insult. One Saturday afternoon, as Enitan returned from the market, despite having severe period cramps, she cooked a small feast for her family. Despite Caleb insisting they buy takeout, Enitan served jollof rice, plantains, chicken with a serving of salad. And that salad was the problem Caleb's mother had. Are you serving goats? Mama barked. That you did not see meat to fill my plate with. It is leaf, eh? Caleb, who was enjoying his wife's cooking, looked at his mother with a what are you saying expression. Enitan didn't argue. Sorry, Mama, next time I won't serve you salad. Is it my mother you're looking at like that? Chioma barked. Small girl. Because my brother married you, think you have arrived? Enitan had enough. She shot back. And at 42, why haven't you arrived to your husband's house? Chioma, whom Enitan had never retorted back at, was shocked. Her mouth left a gap. The water she had drunk spewed from the sides of her cheek. She couldn't see anything. Caleb smiled and continued to eat. Even Mama was too stunned to attack Enitan. The rest of the meal was quiet. Other than the clicking of cutleries, no one said anything. The next day, Caleb had left early for church. As he was a worker, Enitan was supposed to take her time getting ready before joining him. As she picked up her car keys, about to insert into her car, a hand pulled her back and slapped her. As she held onto her face, shocked, she saw it was Chioma and Mama. Before she could speak, Mama pulled Enitan's wig from her head. On top of this, your empty head, you are wearing such an expensive wig. What have I done to deserve this? Was all Enitan could say before another slap hit her face. Now she saw it clearly. It was Chioma. You think you can go scot-free after what you said to me yesterday? Eh? Enitan, she didn't say anything. She just went back into her room. Not crying, not fighting, not shouting. Minutes later, Caleb returned with some uniformed men. Those are the women who beat my wife, he said, pointing at his mother and sister. You brought police for me and Mama because of that barren woman, Chioma screamed amazed. Officers, arrest them, was all Caleb said, as his mother and sister were taken away. Enitan, who heard the commotion, came down with a swollen face to see her husband arresting his family. As she tried to talk him out of it, he refused to listen. Enough was enough. What his family didn't know was Caleb was an escort, struggling to sell his body to care for his family when Enitan, a well-to-do young lady and former classmate of Caleb, found him at a bridal party, where he was given the bride lap dance and changed his life. She got him a job and even sent him abroad for his masters, after which they got married. Enitan had companies which she put some in her husband's name, so that he would never feel inadequate. All this and more Enitan had done for Caleb, including hiding the fact that Caleb had a low sperm count, which they were treating, and that was why they had no children in their 3 years of marriage. Meanwhile, in the prison cell, Mama sat in silence, her eyes fixed on the cold grey walls. Chioma, on the other hand, paced back and forth, her anger and frustration boiling over. Because of that little girl, Caleb did this to us? Choma muttered to herself, her voice rising with each passing moment. He has gone crazy, completely crazy. Mama's silence was unnerving, and Choma tried to snap her out of it. Mama, say something, she pleaded. Don't just sit there like a statue. But Mama didn't respond. She just kept staring at the wall, her mind numb with shock and anger. As the night wore on, Choma's ranting continued, but Mama remained silent, her thoughts consumed by her son's betrayal. The next morning, Enitan stood outside the police station, her eyes red from crying. She had begged and begged Caleb to release his family, but he had refused. Please, Caleb, don't do this, she begged all night, her voice shaking with emotion. They're your family. They deserve forgiveness. But Caleb was resolute. No, Eniton. They've gone too far. They need to learn a lesson. Mama and Choma were released from their cell. They collected their belongings and stepped out into the bright sunlight. Their bags were waiting for them outside the police station, along with a note from Caleb. Choma snatched the note from the bag and began to read. Dear Mama and Choma, she read aloud. I am sorry it had to end like this, but I can't take it anymore. You both have tried to manipulate and control me for far too long. I have realized that my wife deserves better. I am asking you never to contact me again. I have started a new life with Enito, and I won't let anyone ruin it for us. Choma's face turned red with rage as she read the note. How could he do this to us? She screamed. We are his family. Mama's eyes filled with tears as she read the notes over Choma's shoulder. She felt a pang of regret and sadness. Had they gone too far? As they stood here holding their bags and trying to make sense of their situation, Eniton approached them. I'm sorry, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't want this to happen. Mama's eyes flashed with anger. You say you are sorry, she spat. You are the one who has been manipulating my son all along. You are the one who ruined our family. Eniton took a step back, tears streaming down her face. That's not true, she said. I love Caleb. I want what's best for him. But Mama just turned her back on Eniton and walked away. Choma by her side. We will get our revenge, Choma East. Mark my words. As they disappeared into the crowd, Eniton felt a sense of unease. She knew that this was far from over. Caleb's family would not give up easily, and she wondered what the future held for them. Had Caleb's action been too drastic? Had he gone too far? Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching to this point, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the story as much as I enjoyed making it. Please like if you haven't, subscribe if you enjoyed the story, and tell me in the comments more stories you would like to see, what you learned from this story. And as always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, besties. Mwah.